always come on with a laugh or with a smile, but that's because behind the scenes, so much stuff goes on. I have Monica with me. Now, I'm not quite sure what Monica's going to do, but she's into the astrology, she's the moons and this and that. I'm not into all that stuff, but I am fascinated by it because most people seem to come up, without knowing me, they seem to come up with the same thing. And I'm thinking, what message am I giving out there? But it's always pretty cool. So I don't know the message. Monica, hey, how are you? Look at you, lovely.
I'm trying to read her as we're speaking right now.
She's reading me. Oh, I'm in trouble. No, I'm not. I'm never in trouble. Do you know why I'm never in trouble? I don't mind the truth. Good, bad, right, or wrong. Doesn't make any difference. If it's wrong, I'll improve it. If it's right, I'll make it better. So life is life, and Monica is Monica. So what is the name of your company?
Well, I'm very famously known for being a spirit queen. So they call me Monica the Spirit Queen.
Okay, Monica the Spirit Queen. Queen means she's not
Queen
a princess.
of the spirits.
She's not a queen. She's not a princess. She's the queen. It's up here. Now, how and why did you get that name of your spirit?
It's funny because growing up, since I was in the second grade, I started sensing, feeling, and seeing spirits. And I didn't know at that time what it was. It was hard to tell the difference, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then when I had my kids, I have 3 small kids.
Okay.
And they're used to that. Well, my son actually came up with a name. He's a 7-year-old little boy. And he said, Mom, do you know that you're the Spirit Queen?
Is that because he's got the spirits with him as well as what you have?
He's very spiritual. All 3 of my kids are spiritual.
So what is the spiritual thing? Because there's a lot of people turning around and saying, I'm not going to go to church, I believe in spiritual life. A lot of people are believing in their own feelings of life and their own spiritual feelings.
Well, you can define spirituality in many different ways. When it comes to, I just combine it. When you're spiritual, you can either see spirits, feel them. You can pick up on people's auras. You can pick up on their energy. Okay. So it's not always the spirit part, you know.
What exactly, you know, for the common knowledge of people out there, what exactly is a spirit, and how would you recognize one?
Good question.
How about a good answer? I'm really.
You're just throwing me in there.
Yeah, I'm throwing you in the. Well, you know all about it.
Right. So basically, what a spirit is the way I describe it is this is a shell that we're living in.
Yes.
And it's a temporary shell. Our spirit is the one that moves our body, our shell.
Okay.
Okay.
Moves
Spirit
us around.
Moves us around.
Where we should go and shouldn't go.
Right. What we're doing right now, it's our spirit inside that's controlling the shell of our body.
Okay.
And then once our body expires, our spirit comes out and continues to live and move on in the spiritual way.
I hope mine goes to a special person. I want my spirit to go to a very special person out there. I don't know who it is yet, but...
A special person?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. It has to be special. Plus, she's reading something into this now. Am I not in trouble? Guys out there, help me. Steve.
Everybody that knows me knows they can't hide anything from me. So
no, I'm not hiding it.
I will read you like a book right now.
All right, read me. I want that. Read me like good, bad, right, or wrong. I don't mind who knows me what I am out there. I've been out there long enough. It doesn't matter anymore. I hope I'm not confusing you.
No. With your energy, it's funny because the minute I walked in, before even looking around, because normally when I go to a new place, and this is a new place for me, I scan around and I'm like, okay, well, who am I looking for, this and that. The minute I walked in, something about your energy, I zoomed in. I was like, oh, that's where she's at. Without even looking around, like I just pinpointed you out.
Immediately.
You have a grandmother figure. A grandmother.
Hang on a second.
I'm telling you. You wanted the reading.
Yeah,
you asked for it.
I don't know about this grandmother bit.
I'm telling you a grandmother.
Okay.
It's an elderly lady.
Yes.
It goes back About 3 generations.
Okay.
So great-great-grandmother, I should say.
I'm really old now.
You're not.
Go ahead. No,
It just
I'm
goes
teasing.
back in.
Yes.
She's about 120. Don't let her lie. No, I'm kidding. I love her.
So far, this interview is going very, very well. I'm a grandmother 3 times over. I'm 120, and I don't look bad for 120. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
She
Go
looks
ahead,
so
Monica.
good for it.
Come on.
You do feel, you are spiritual. You do feel energies. At times you don't know what it is.
Absolutely.
And you do question it.
Yes, I do. A lot.
Yes. And
Why?
so,
Mine's always the why.
because you want the answers.
Yes,
you
I do.
have, there's a lot
Definitely.
of questions that you don't have answers to.
Correct. Absolutely. Right now, especially.
And that's where I'm here. So this person, this particular energy that you feel around you, it's mostly at times where things are going not the way
I
that you want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she comes to you to basically comfort you and guide you and let you know that everything's okay. Because with you, not everything, the bad doesn't last too long.
No.
It just goes
That's-
in and out and it's done.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. She really nailed that one because it's very true. I'm a big forgiver. I don't believe in hanging on to anything, holding on to anything. And if that person has done that at that time, okay, fine, let's just move on. And I'm sort of, but there's also a lot of things I will want to address. I want to address why, what, and when, and how. There's a lot of that I want to do. But getting back to you, this is what you make a living at. And what has been one of your most difficult times of somebody wanting you to read their spirit, because I believe that's what they want you for,
Right.
to read their spirit, and then you feel you can't get through to them, or you can't do it? Has that ever happened to you? Or do you always find something?
No, I always break through. There are people that try to block me from it. There's a lot of people, especially skeptics. I'm very well known to turn skeptics into believers.
Okay.
And I do it a lot on my live videos and my shows that I have. So it's really funny because I have skeptics that come and say, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't read me."
Oh,
and,
that's lovely.
this
I'm
and that.
sure those are great words to you.
Yeah, especially if they're with a husband or wife or their family and friends. And I'm like, "Are you sure you want to test me? Do you really want to test
really
me?"
wanna- yeah, 'cause
so
it's
then I
just-
start spilling the beans, and then I'm like, "Okay, well, give them a little taste of what I can do."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Okay, well, so that's the difficult part with the skeptics because they like to test me a lot, which is fine. Test me all you want, you know.
Yeah, of course, because you're not worried about that, because you know the spirit you're on. What sort of spirit, apart from being queen of spirits, what sort of spirit do you feel that you are? Or are there different ones?
I believe, and I've been called this a lot, I don't know what they mean by this, the sun, basically. They call
Which
me
means
the
you
sun.
shine. You shine all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
but you
so
do.
another nickname they give me, "Oh, you're the sun." I'm like, in the beginning I was kind of confused about it. I'm like, "What do you mean the sun?" You know what I mean? But that's what they say, that I remind people of the sun.
Well, that's probably because of your aura, number one. Number two is because probably you have this energy all around you that gives off. I have energy that gives off, and I know that. I know I can walk into, I know what I can do. I know where I'm accepted. I know what happens to me. I often...
But stop second guessing a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, really? Now, what do you mean second guessing?
You do analyze a lot, which is a good thing, and I do.
Analyze, yeah.
And I tell people all the time that's a good thing. If you're the type of person that analyzes things, that's great. But if you put your mind to doing something, don't second guess it. Just go ahead and do it.
Oh, I agree with that. It's funny you said, because I've just been in an thing I'm doing right now, and it was yes, no, and then all of a sudden, a few days ago, I woke up and I said, "That's it, I'm doing it," and that was it, and that's it. It's like, I'm going to do it. It'll work out. It'll be fine. Everything will be wonderful. And I do second guess a lot on a lot of things I do, but mostly I just go for it. I'm a big go for it, because what can happen?
Right. And that's the second guessing part I picked up on. Don't second guess.
Yeah,
Follow
you pick
your
it up.
instinct.
Yeah.
and continue with your success.
On my success. Okay, what about your success? I'm more interested in her success. I'm more interested in you than me, that's for sure.
I'm interested in her success. She's interested in mine.
Okay, so we just met. So
I love her already.
May it flourish into the world out
Great
there.
friendship you're
Yes,
building.
yes.
Well, what I do is, aside from being a psychic medium, I'm a paranormal investigator as well.
Oh, that would be great for what you want and what you do.
I think I'm going to take you on one of my investigations.
Do you know something? And she has no idea about what I'm going to tell her. I always wanted to be a private eye, and I always wanted to go on these investigations. But I've got a person in Pittsburgh, Robert. I won't give you his last name, Robert, and he's a private eye. And I knew a very well-known private eye. I'll tell you who he is. Anyway, and I keep saying that. I said, I want to go on one of your investigations. I want to go with you. I now have this opportunity. See what happens. So when are we doing this? Today? Tomorrow? Now?
Let's go.
All right. Do you ever
We'll
remember,
be back.
Do you ever know about a private eye guy called Freddie Otash? Ever read his book?
Sounds familiar,
Freddie
but no.
Otash. I dated him for, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years in Miami and a little bit in Los Angeles. And he was the biggest private eye probably in America. And he was actually with a lot of the big movie stars. He did a couple of wrong things, but he did a lot of right things. He lived with Judy Garland, he knew Frank Sinatra, he knew all these people. I did not know that because I obviously was not supposed to, because I believe, well, when I was with him in Miami, I believe he was on an investigation, but I never knew or wasn't supposed to know about it. But being my inquisitive mind, I kept thinking, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Why is he,
Right.
You know, and sort of, and let it go. And then lately, you think about things like, wait a minute, he was definitely on an investigation because he bought Lily Dashay. Lily Dashay had a place in the Beverly Wilshire and she opened up in Belle Harbor. That's where I met him.
Right.
But so that was so I've been pretty close to private eye things. You have no idea, you've made my day. When is it? Huh?
This is about ghosts.
This is about
Ghost hunting.
this is ghost time.
We're going to take the whole team on an investigation with us. The producer, my lovely new best friend right here.
Yeah, I love it. And your husband?
My husband, of course. He's my husband. He's my manager. He's
your everything.
Everything. I can't
And I
do.
thought, do you know, I
He's
was
my other
teasing,
half.
I was teasing her about him. He's a good looking, is he? And I said, well, he's too young for me. She said, well, he's my ex-husband because she was teasing me. And so I said, no, I can't because, number one, he's an ex. Number two, he's too young. And number three, now I found out they're still married. So,
No, I said, I said, if you want me to share him,
oh no, we don't share.
he's priceless. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I've got enough
if
money
anybody
for
can,
it.
if anybody can afford it. No, I don't share my husband.
Good for you. Don't
I
share
don't
him.
share him.
And
So,
also-
ladies, back off.
I don't share other people's husbands. I don't do any of that stuff.
No.
I just don't. I just like to look
I don't
in
like
that mirror.
homewreckers, period.
No, I don't.
mean,
yeah, I don't like home records.
No, we
either.
don't deal with that kind of stuff.
Now, if anybody, I'm going to ask you a personal. Well, not personal. What do you charge for a session, and how long is a session?
See, the beauty about my work and how I do it is my sessions, it's a full hour reading,
Okay.
and it starts off with 150.
Okay.
And it could either be a spiritual reading or a psychic reading. Now, let me tell you the difference real quick. A psychic reading is anything personal
Okay.
about your life, the physical, you being here physically, your job, your love life, your marriage, friends, family, you name it,
Okay.
Spiritual is I can pull through anybody that you want to communicate with that already crossed over, a loved one, and go from there.
Oh, okay.
And, communicate with the loved one. If you want to combine it, it's $350.
350. So so we can go anywhere from 150 up.
150
Because
up.
it depends on, and I'm speaking out for you, it depends on what type of session you're having, number one. And I've got the husband over here nodding his head. He's saying, yes, Ninon, you're absolutely right. Because I know how all these things work. See, this is where I come in. I know how all this works. And I have no idea what you do, how you do it, or anything else. But I do know that it depends what you bring into the realm is what you have to pay for. And always remember, something very good out there, you always really have to pay quite a lot for it, because actually that is what you want. You want absolutely everything, but you want to pay as little as possible. That'll never happen with this woman, because it is what it is. And if you want to know, and it's funny how I think majority of people in this world, I believe, want to know something within them of why they work and where they're going. And we all want to know where we're going and is it going to be great. And I'm going to have lots of money, lots of love affairs, lots of clothes, lots of stuff. It's always, how much am I getting?
Right.
Always.
Right.
And you look at it and you think, I personally don't need any more clothes. I don't need any more stuff. So I'm in a little bit of a different
We're
situation.
going shopping.
We're going shopping. I just said I was in a different position, but we're now going shopping. So
We'll deal with the other position.
That blows right out of the window. When somebody calls you and what you do, what is your most favorite thing that you really like doing, that you really feel really comfortable and at ease, and you think, oh, I love doing this?
The most satisfaction I get out of my readings is giving the answers and the closures that my clients
That they're looking for.
Sometimes
Good,
it's
bad, right, or
spur
wrong?
of the moment. They just have a question. I do get a lot of clients, and I get clients around the world. I have my website, monicaspiritqueen.com. You can contact me through there. It goes straight to my email. And be sure to leave a phone number, because without a phone number, I don't contact it. Phone number. But one of my biggest pet peeves, if you don't have a phone number, I'm sorry, I can't do anything.
That's good. That's at least you know.
Yeah. So, what satisfies me the most is, in the end, and I'm known to make people cry sometimes during my readings because it's so real, and I get into depth. I get into the heart of everything that's going on, what they want to know.
But some things they don't want to know.
Some things they don't want to know. That's the beauty about my reading, and that's the way that you could tell the difference between a real psychic and a wannabe fake one. It's because before I start my readings, I always let everybody know, I'm not going to tell you what you want to know, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know.
Okay, that's what I think.
Because a lot of people, right? I
like to know what I need to know. I don't want to be told to. I don't want to be washed over.
I'm not going to say you're going to win the lottery and be a millionaire, and I'm going to collect about 45-50% of that money. You know, but I'm going right. But I'm going.
Just come back to reality.
Nice, right?
Back
we'll
to reality.
Be millionaires overnight. But the reality of it is I let them know. I say, you know what? I'll answer your questions during my reading. Feel free to ask whatever you want. Whatever I pick up on, there's a reason why I pick up on. People do get visions and things, and they don't, it's hard to put two and two together at times because some of them are so extreme and
dramatic.
You just don't, you can't imagine it'll actually happen. The crazy thing about my gift, I have, sometimes it's a gift, sometimes it's a curse, because there's things that I don't want to know. Yes. If there's an accident that's going to happen minutes before it does, and I'm driving on, I always, I speak out. Before I used to not say anything, but now, I tell my husband or whoever's with me, and I said, I see an accident, and boom, just a couple of weeks ago, I kept telling my husband, I said, you know what, I keep seeing a dead guy in the middle of the street. They're trying to resuscitate him, but I see an accident right in front of me. Within, a week? I'm taking him to work. I'm on the freeway, and all of a sudden, all these paramedics and cops are flying past us, and we get to one exit before ours that we're supposed to exit, and I described it. I said it was a white truck. There was a white truck that got into an accident with a motorcyclist. And the motorcyclist is on the ground, and they're trying to resuscitate him. So, and I saw that a couple of days before it happened. But it was a vision that kept going and going and going. I can also sense earthquakes, which is one of the biggest secrets I've kept in so
that's
long.
like, most animals hear the sound before it actually happens.
Before it happens. I'm one of the animals. No, but I can
She's
sense.
what you call, she's a Black Panther.
Yes. I can sense an earthquake, and I'm not worried about like the little aftershocks.
No.
I'm talking about the tsunami that happened, in Japan?
Yes.
The earthquake happened in California about 25 years ago, the major big 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. All that stuff, the major events that are going to happen, I could feel it. I could see it. I can, and those are the things that's when I say it's a curse, I don't want to see that kind of stuff. But it
No,
happens.
but sometimes you can't. You know, you've got to take the good with the bad.
can't prevent
always.
it,
No, we
yeah.
can't prevent it. We can't always see the good of everything because we've got to be realistic and understand life. So life is actually you've got good, bad, right, and wrong. That's just how life is. On that, we're going to close out. Monica's absolutely amazing. I'm going to go on this ghost trip with her because that is even more fascinating. But even the ghost trips and anything like that, which is to me is like sort of FBI spy things, and it's like getting into the unknown and trying to find out and trying to put that puzzle together. And I love puzzles.
We will communicate with spirits together.
Yes, absolutely. Yep,
Because
absolutely.
now I'm really interested to see what you can pick up on and
On
what you
I
can
can't
see.
pick up on. And none of it will be phony because it'll only be what it is. And if I can't pick up on anything, I'm going to say I can't pick up on it. It's just going to be what it is, you know. But well, Monica is just amazing. She's absolutely wonderful. I've learned an awful lot, though I don't even know her. She doesn't know me, but I never know any one of my guests. Husband's pretty cool hair. He's actually taking a video of us. I think has he got the sound as well? He got the sound. He's got everything. He's nodding his head, and he's wearing the same wedding ring as you're wearing. They've got all the same rings on. They're very, very connected. They're very well. Are they his children or your children?
They're all his.
They're all his.
All three of them. We've been married for 17 years.
So they're yours as well.
Mine and his together, yes.
So you have children together.
3
Isn't
kids
that-
together by the same person, same guy.
That's really quite a miracle in Vegas. I don't know how long you've lived in Vegas, but that's a miracle.
You'll be
in
amazed,
Vegas.
people's jaws drop when
Yes.
all 3 of them are his. How long have you guys been together? I'm like,
Well, they're
it is
his
a miracle.
and yours. They're both.
They're both of ours.
Yeah, there you go. I love the way that is said and that is put together. It's amazing. And we've had a fabulous, wonderful Tuesday afternoon with Vegas Live with Ninon. I've had so many different things going on with interviewing all my guests and everything. As you know, I don't pre-interview. One more thing I must suggest, go to YouTube and subscribe. And you'll get to know more people and you'll become more together. And then you put us out there even more. And remember, nothing happens without you. We'll be back.